But it's effective, and the judges and the police, and it's the same way in America, they don't always communicate the best. The judges say, you know, if you don't have the evidence, the case is going to get thrown out. It's the same way back home.
Brigadier General Michael Smith has been in charge of the American effort to advise and train the Iraqi police since the fall of 2009. I wanted to get the most recent big picture, so I interviewed him in March 2011.
For the Iraqi police, the idea of the rule of law is that they must abide by the Constitution of Iraq and the laws of Iraq, and that it's important to realize that no person is above the law. That's a cultural change for them, or a regime change, if you will, because that's not the way it was in the past. The police now have responsibility for protecting the people, as opposed to protecting the leadership, protecting the regime. So when we say rule of law, that's applying what we would call democratic policing principles, in that Iraq is a democracy now.
Lieutenant General James Dubik was in charge of Iraqi police advising and training in 2007 and 2008. He arrived when some of the police were operating as death squads during the sectarian violence. He helped the Iraqi Ministry of the Interior root out the bad police and establish better leadership and recruitment. He is now retired, but he stays current on Iraq while writing policy papers for the Institute for the Study of War. In March 2011, I asked him to talk about the stakes for the advising and training mission.
The stakes for them is to return to a society that they know they don't want. They don't want a repressive police. They want a police force that represents, that enforces the law relatively objectively for all sects. And if we fail in the police development mode, they're not going to get that. The stakes for the United States should be viewed at least in two ways. First, if we fail, we lose a strategic partner that is on the western border of Iran, and therefore very important. The other way to look at this is failure would be to have wasted thousands of lives, not just the lives killed, but the lives wounded and the families who have suffered so much to get us to where we are. I think as a nation, we owe it to all of those who have sacrificed to be as firm at the end of the war as we were in the middle of the war. And regardless of where one stands with respect to the beginning of the Iraq War, we're at the end of it. And we can end it in a way that is the best interest of our nation and the best interest of the Iraqi nation.